Good morning, everybody. Welcome to another release roundtable. Happy Friday to everybody. We've got a nice set of release notes today. We're going to try something a little bit different. Full transparency, Cameron and I were talking before the show, and we think, reading off of a list is great, but you guys can do that on your own, right? So what we're going to do is we're going to share screen with the system itself and actually touch on some of the things in a live environment that you guys can actually see instead of just reading the list. And you guys can, like I said, do that on your own. But before we do that, Cam, how was your week, man?
It was good, man. I gave a talk at Cal State University of Long Beach to a bunch of information technology kids aspiring to, join a career path in the tech world. That was super cool. It's always cool to hear like what people's goals are when they're young, and if you can follow their journey. I connected with a lot of them on LinkedIn. If you can follow their journey, where they actually end up in the long run. But yeah, that was cool. How was your week?
It was good, man. It was, the sickness is out in full force for these kids. I know your kids are sick right now too, right?
They are, yeah. I actually was supposed to be at Disneyland today with the kids.
That's right. Yeah. That's right. I stayed home sick with one of my kids on Wednesday. But it's been a good week. It's been productive. We moved some good things forward and got some good releases out. I do want to ask though, for the people. Your talk your talk at Cal State Long Beach had to have been a bit interesting because I know you and I talk about this a lot. Degrees are great. Not trying to knock that. Education is important. However, I'm sure it came up how it's also important to do other things and not just rest on how good you are in a classroom. And just kind of curious how you communicated that to the kids.
I did talk about that a bit. So technical skills are just as important as soft skills, like being able to communicate effectively. And a lot of technical kids growing up, they're not the best at communicating. A lot of them are kind of introverts, and you have to learn to break past that. And so that was an interesting thing to talk about with them, and kind of my journey on that side of things growing up as a technical kid. But yeah, no, that, and in regards to degrees are great. Like, there's no knocking degrees. Degrees are amazing things to get. But in reality, a lot more companies, especially in the tech world, don't really care. What they care about is what can you do? Because a degree does not translate to you can do A, B, and C inside the tech world. It just means you were great in the classroom. But at the end of the day, what happens when you go to a technical interview? They're asking a whole bunch of technical questions, making sure you fit into their culture. They're going to give you a technical test. And that's really what's going to get you the job. A degree will get you in the door or get you that interview, but it's not going to get you the job. So we talked a little bit about that, and that was interesting for them to hear. And, there is some benefits going like MIT, Stanford, Harvard.
Oh, of course.
All the Ivy Leagues and whatnot, because that makes you stand out amongst the crowd. But at the end of the day, it really comes down to what can you do versus, what you actually learned in a school.
Yeah.
So.
Well, especially you and I are similar in this way. It's, neither of us finished college. Would it have been easier in the beginning, meaning like when we were, 22, to get our foot in the door? Absolutely. But once that's done, or you pass that stage like we are, you prove yourself through what you can do. And I know it sounds so simple, but I think at a young age, it's hard to understand that because you don't have the experience, right? You think, well, because you've been taught your whole life, I'll go get a degree and I'll go get a good job. That's how the world is supposed to work. It's just not the reality anymore, frankly, right? You might get the first job, but past that, I mean, it's up to you what you can do in the workplace. So, I've seen it with you, especially, you've shared your story many times here. It's like you started working because you were a college kid who needed to make money, right? And
I was going to school for computer science, but you're right. So
so it's good. Anyways, let's hop into this. I'll go ahead and share my screen. I'm gonna try and do this. I've got all kinds of different things up on my screen over here. Let's see. All right. Can you share that to the main stage, dude?
Yep.
Thank you. Okay. So starting here with a new filter that we've added to our pay bill screen. So I don't know if it was last week or the week before, we were talking about the divisions that we had added to the system. Now within the pay bill screen, if you are marking bills paid in our system, there is a divisions drop down. So you're able to filter out, oh, that drop down doesn't show on the screen share. Well, right here, I am dropping this down. You can filter by all the divisions and just see the bills for specific divisions within your pay bills screen. So being able to effectively manage all those different divisions, maybe you're only processing billing for one on a Tuesday and another one on Thursday, you're able to filter that out. So just an enhancement to the workflow there with the filter. We do have a few new carrier integrations. Won't really demo those too much. I mean, those of you that are familiar with the system know how easy it is to turn them on. But we do have an integration with Metropolitan Warehouse and Delivery. That does support rating, electronic dispatching, and electronic document retrieval. We have an integration with SD's Freight Forwarding that supports rating, e-dispatching, and tracking. And we also have a new integration with Onward. Onward is not a carrier. They are a third-party logistics provider, kind of like, I guess they're a broker in some senses, that supports rating and dispatching. Cam, they specialize in final mile, right?
I believe that's one of the things they offer. Onward is, I believe, a newer company as well. They just have a whole bunch of carrier integrations. So view them more like a Worldwide or Echo for a whole bunch of carriers coming into the system.
Okay.
I don't know if a lot of our customers are going to utilize that, but it's there for the ones that want it.
Got it. Okay, so I'm looking at it right now. It is mainly white glove final mile. Yeah, white glove final mile. So if any of y'all have a white glove final mile moves that you're looking to tap into a network of carriers, reach out to Onward, see if y'all can get set up with them. So we have a new default and feature. Actually, Kim, can you talk about this while I demo this, the auto insert BOL signature? Do you have the notes pulled up? I can go through it. It's fine. So there's a new default that we can turn on for you guys. Let's see, BOL. Let's find this here. Enable auto BOL signature. So what this is going to do, in the event that you turn this on, you can actually upload a shipper signature to a customer profile, right? So you can have this image automatically inserted into the BOL upon dispatch of a load. Why is this beneficial? It's just more automation. If you have a customer that has already given you the freight, you work with them all the time, but you want to have a signed copy of the BOL, they don't want to sign it. They don't even want to electronically sign it. They say, here's my signature. Every time you guys dispatch a load on our behalf, just go ahead and insert this signature for me. We can automate that process now. So for those clients that you're doing, significant amount of business with, and it's frequent and it's predictable, just kind of eliminating the need for you guys to reach out to your customers to get those documents signed. Anything you want to add on that, Cam?
Yeah, so it's really important for those of you that are interested in this to get a legal document signed by your customer, something that actually says you're allowed to do this. We actually, when the idea first came up, we had to run it through our general counsel. Is this even legal? Like, can you actually do this? And the answer is yes, if you have permission and there's something signed by your shipper or by your customer. But yeah, just make sure you have a legal document in place with your customer before adopting that technology.
All right, let's see. Let's pull this up. All right, so right here, once I've turned this on, I'm inside of a customer profile. Under preferences, you'll see you have shipper signature with the pickup date on the BOL. This is where you can enable that on a per customer level as well. So we also have another default that we should cover. Let's see, global address book. All right. So this will enable you to save addresses, new addresses when you're building loads to the global address book. So I'm going to go ahead and turn this on, and we'll go ahead and show what this looks like. So in our system, we have global address books and we have customer specific address books. Now that I've turned this on, as I go in here to create a load, what you'll see is the ability to actually, hang on, I'm going to log out and log back in. Make sure that's enabled. All right. Okay, that's enabled. We're good. All right. Sorry about that. So when we go in here and create a load, let's go into 138 foods. What you'll see here is there's a new checkbox up here. Without this default turned on and previous to this update, you could only save new addresses to the specific customer address book that you were entering them in on. Now, if you want to save this to the global address book as a new address, you can. And also, all of the appointment workflows and all of the appointment management stuff where you can say, is this location require an appointment, so on and so forth. All of that has been added to the global address book as well. Whereas it used to exist just on a per customer level, per location, per customer. Now that can be handled on a global level. So if you have multiple shippers, multiple customers that are sending stuff to a grocery distribution center, for example, and you just want to manage that on a global level and have all the appointment requirements in one location instead of duplicating it on every single customer address book, this will allow you to do that. Okay, couple other things. Cam, do you want to talk about, I can't really demo this. Do you want to talk about the Triumph Pay audit one while I pull up this MacroPoint wish list thing?
Yeah, for Triumph Pay audit, basically the logic that changed is if there's an unresolved dispute, Triumph Pay will not create the customer invoice or receive the payable until it's resolved. So previously it was doing that, and now there's functionality in place to actually block that from occurring. And then MacroPoint wishlist, you're going to try to demo that?
No, I'm not. I'm just showing where to set it up.
Oh, okay.
We don't have an active account to demo it.
Cool.
So yeah, it's actually, this was one that was even somewhat new to me. As you and I were going through these release notes last night, you sent me a blurb on this. Where was that? Anyways, so MacroPoint wishlist is a way for you guys to have a list of carriers that you want to work with. And as you add them into the TMS, they will get sent over to MacroPoint every 2 hours, and they'll start building out a wish list. And basically, this will build out a list of carriers in MacroPoint and let them know through MacroPoint, hey, this broker wants to work with you. Hey, they want you to be active on the MacroPoint network. And so it allows you to kind of build out a list of capacity that may not be engaged with you on MacroPoint currently, but MacroPoint will aid in building that out and helping with communications to get them on the network. Cam, am I missing anything there?
No, you got it. It's just a new feature from MacroPoint that we added into the integration, and it's readily available for you guys to use today.
Yeah, so just like the rest of our integrations, you guys come in here to integrations, partner integrations, go to the drop down, set it up. It's all self-service. If you need any help, reach out to our support team, and we can go ahead and assist with that. So the last update from last night that we're going to go over, and there are a few other random little bug fixes here and there, but there is a new invoice preference for invoice delivery preference. So now you're able to send invoices via EDI with supporting documents to an FTP. So that was kind of a mouthful. So let's kind of slow that down and break that down. So in our system, most of you, if you're a customer, know that you can set an invoice delivery preference per customer. Are we printing a physical invoice? Are we sending an invoice via email? Are we EDIing an invoice? Or are we sending an invoice via API directly into their system? Now, in the event that you're sending an EDI'd invoice, but you also want backup documentation, a POD, a signed BOL, etc., to be sent out, there are a few different ways to send that, right? You can send the documents via email, and the invoice via EDI. Or what we've now added is you can send those supporting documents via FTP. So once this is set up in our invoice printing screen, you will see an option here for printing your invoices via EDI with supporting documents being dropped on an FTP. So if you have shippers that want invoicing data to be sent into their system via EDI, but then they also pick up supporting documentation on an FTP that you're dropping documents on, our system can now handle that. There's some formatting stuff here. I won't go through all the boring stuff of that. But Cam, is there anything else you want to touch on there?
No, it's a cool feature for those of you that have EDI in place. The way you can sell this is to your customer, and you can tell them, hey, now with your invoices, now with whatever you need to send out, you can send BOLs or PODs or whatever it may be along with the invoices to your customer. So it's no longer just the EDI. You now actually can send the physical documents as backup with the EDI. So it sets you apart from a lot of the other freight brokers that are using different TMSs because a lot of TMSs do not support this feature. So definitely use it to your advantage in your sales process.
Awesome. Well, I think that's it for the updates that we want to share. Again, the full list is available on our website as always. Hopefully this was a little bit more interactive is not the right word. A little bit easier to consume and less boring than me and Cameron reading from a list and sharing a screen. If you guys have any feedback, let us know. Other than that, man, we need to bring our other show back.
We do. And we also need to bring customers on this show.
Yeah.
Active customers to talk about how some of these features are going to impact their businesses and whatnot. Because a lot of our feature development it's all built based on client feedback, everything we do. So it'd be cool to have some customers on this show. So
I actually like that idea.
Yeah.
Hey, this was built per your request. Talk to everybody about why you wanted us.
Why did you ask for it? How's this going to impact you? Yeah, those types of things. One last thing I will mention is that we are hiring. So if anyone knows anyone within the industry, specifically on the engineering side or project management side, have them reach out to me, reach out to our company. We're actively looking to add 4 to 5 new people to our team. Our company has been growing. I'm sure, I've talked to some of our clients about that. Mike, I'm sure you have as well. And
Sure.
So we are looking to expand our team here in the U.S. All of these positions are here, and they're not going to be outsourced or nearshored. So it's a pretty exciting time for us. And I think that's it from my side.
That's it, man. You do anything this weekend?
Nope. No plans.
Nice.
No plans. Kids are sick. The wife's sick. Probably going to clean the garage, man. I don't know. Something
Nice.
really boring.
Adult things, right?
Adult things.
Yeah. No, it's good. It's good. Cool. All right. Well, let's let the people go, and let's make a public promise right now that you and I, whether it's just us or whether we have a guest, we're going to do our other show next week.
Why don't we just go live in a little bit?
I mean,
bring it back today.
No, I won't hesitate. You know that. Come on. Yeah, let's do it. What time? 8:45, 8:30?
At 9 o'clock, the normal show time.
All right, cool. Come see our ugly mugs in 40 minutes if you want to hear more of us.
Awesome, guys. We appreciate you, and we'll talk to you all soon.
Thanks, y'all.